The desert town of Naran was quiet at night. The wind moved softly through the narrow streets, carrying sand, dust, and memories of people who lived simple lives. But on this night, something different was about to happen, something that would touch hearts, change a man forever, and show a miracle that no one could forget. In a small house at the edge of the town lived a man named Iman. Iman was known by everyone. Some people respected him because he was bold and spoke loudly. Others feared him because he often got angry quickly. He had grown up believing that he must never allow anything different from what he knew. He believed he had to protect his beliefs, even when he did not fully understand what he was protecting. But deep inside, hidden from everyone, Iman felt something he never told anyone, a heavy emptiness. It was like a deep hole in his heart that nothing could fill. Not money, not respect, not power, not even the routines he followed every day. One afternoon, something happened that stirred this emptiness even more. A young boy named Sami had come running past Iman's house holding a small brown book close to his chest. The boy was smiling. Not a normal smile, but a smile full of peace, warmth, and a joy that glowed like sunlight. Iman had never seen such a smile. "What is that book?" he asked sharply. Sami stopped. His tiny hand squeezed the book, and he spoke softly, "It is the Bible." Iman's eyes widened. He felt a heat rise inside him, a mix of anger and fear. "Where did you get that?" he demanded. Sami did not run. He did not hide. He simply said, "Someone gave it to me. It teaches about love, about peace, about Jesus." That name, Jesus, made something shake inside Iman. He did not know why. Maybe because he had heard stories. Maybe because he didn't understand. Maybe because deep inside, he felt his walls tremble. He snatched the book from Sami's hands. "You should not read this," Iman warned. Sami looked up, not angry, not scared, only sad. "It helped me," he whispered. "It made me feel safe inside." Iman did not answer. He turned away, walked into his house, and shut the door. Inside the house, Iman placed the Bible on a table. He stared at it as if it were something dangerous. His mind felt loud and confused. Why did that boy look so peaceful? Why did he say this book helped him? Why did my heart shake when I heard the name Jesus? He tried to push those thoughts away. To silence them, he made a decision. "I will burn this book tonight." Maybe the fire would burn his confusion. Maybe the flames could quiet the strange stirring in his chest. That night, Iman walked outside with the Bible in his hand. The moon shone bright, almost like an eye watching everything. He placed the Bible on a stone and lit a match. The tiny flame danced in the wind like it was alive. He lowered the flame toward the book. But something happened. The wind blew softly, not strong, but enough to make the flame tremble. The match went out. Iman frowned, lit another match, and tried again. Again, the wind blew. And again, the match went out. Iman felt frustrated. Something invisible seemed to stop him. The night was quiet, almost listening. The moon shone brighter. The air felt warm, gentle, almost comforting. Iman tried again. This time, something unbelievable happened. Something that made him freeze, something that made the tiny hairs on his arms rise. The fire moved, but not toward the Bible. It curved away from it, like the flames refused to touch the pages. Iman stared, confused and breathless. For the first time in years, he felt his heart whisper something he had never allowed it to say. What if this book is protected? What if Jesus really is who people say he is? The question shook him. He did not know it yet. But this night was only the beginning. The real miracle was still coming. Iman stood in the quiet night, staring at the Bible on the stone. The flame he tried to use had refused to burn it. It was as if something unseen, something gentle but powerful, stood between the fire and the pages. His hands trembled, though the wind was soft and warm. "This is impossible," he whispered to himself. But the air didn't feel impossible. It felt peaceful. It felt like someone else was there. Iman glanced around. No one. Just the silence of Naran and the moonlight touching the earth like silver. Yet his heart felt watched, not by danger, but by love. He took a step backward, almost afraid of the peace he felt. He had not felt peace in years. He had lived with anger, fear, and duty for so long that calmness felt strange, almost frightening. He lit another match. The flame rose again, warm and bright. He moved it toward the Bible. The flame bent away again. Like a flower bowing. Like a hand turning aside. Like someone saying softly, "No." Iman's breath caught. He let the match burn out in his hand. He sat on the ground slowly, staring at the book. "What is happening?" he murmured. He expected fear, but what he felt instead was curiosity. Deep, powerful curiosity, the kind that wakes up a sleeping heart. For years, he had carried questions he refused to ask. Why did anger never make him calm? Why did strictness never fill his emptiness? Why did he always feel alone, even in a crowd? And why? Why did a small boy smile with a joy he never had? He closed his eyes and remembered Sami's face. A face full of peace. A peace that didn't make sense. How can a child have something a grown man like me cannot find? The night answered softly, with silence. Then something unexpected happened. The Bible, untouched, shifted slightly on the stone. Not a lot, just enough for Iman to see a page open. The wind didn't flip it. There was no strong breeze. But the page opened, as if guided. Iman leaned forward, confused and drawn in. The page showed a verse written simply. "Do not be afraid." He blinked. The words felt like they were speaking to him directly, entering his heart like warm light. Do not be afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid of truth. Afraid of peace. Afraid of change. Iman's throat tightened. He had been afraid for years. Afraid of losing identity. Afraid of asking questions. Afraid of feeling empty. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of being unworthy. But here was a message. At the perfect moment, on a page he did not turn. A message that touched a deep place he never showed anyone. Iman felt something warm behind his eyes. Not pain. Not sadness. Just a breaking open. A softening. "Who are you?" he asked the night. His voice cracked. His heart pounded. His mind was full. He looked up at the sky, the stars quiet and steady like witnesses. "Jesus, are you real?" he whispered. A gentle breeze moved past him. Warm, calm, comforting. Not strong enough to shake anything, but strong enough to touch a heart. The Bible remained open. The words remained clear. The peace remained steady. Iman felt a presence. He could not see it. He could not hear it. But he felt it, like warm arms around a cold soul. A whisper, not with sound, but inside his heart, seemed to say, "I am here." Iman swallowed hard. The night around him suddenly felt alive. Not frightening. Not empty. It felt like love. Love he didn't earn. Love he didn't expect. Love he didn't understand. But love that was real. He touched the Bible gently, almost afraid to break the moment. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel alone. For the first time, he didn't feel the emptiness eating him inside. Instead, he felt seen. He felt known. He felt held. The man who wanted to burn the Bible now sat before it quietly, with a heart beginning to open like morning light. And this was only the beginning. The miracle had just started. The next morning, Iman woke early. He had barely slept. His mind kept replaying the events of the night. The fire bending away, the page turning by itself, the gentle peace that wrapped around him. He had tried to ignore it. He had tried to pretend it meant nothing. But the truth was simple. His heart had been touched. And he could not forget it. The Bible lay on his table now, still open to the same page. Do not be afraid. Iman sat staring at it, wondering what this meant. Why that message? Why now? Why him? His thoughts were interrupted by a soft knock on the door. He opened it and found little Sami, the boy from yesterday. His small hands were folded in front of him, his eyes filled with worry. "Sir, I came to see if you still have my book," he whispered. Iman froze. He had expected anger. He had expected fear. But he saw neither. Instead, Sami stood there with courage far greater than his small body. "Yes," Iman said quietly. "It is inside." Sami's eyes softened with relief. "I'm sorry if I made you upset yesterday," the boy said politely. "I didn't mean to." Iman's heart tightened. He had snatched the Bible from him. He had spoken harshly. Yet the child apologized. "Why did you not run from me yesterday?" Iman asked. Sami looked confused. "Why would I run? Because you knew I didn't like your book." The boy smiled gently. A soft, bright smile that reminded Iman of the peace he had felt the night before. My father told me, Sami began, that when you carry light, you don't need to run from darkness. Light is stronger. Iman felt a strange warmth in his chest. Light, stronger, the words felt like they were meant for him. And this book, Sami added, tapping his chest lightly, is where my light comes from. The quiet confidence of this tiny boy amazed Iman. How could a child have such peace? Such bravery, such joy? He finally stepped aside. You can come in. Sami walked into the house, his eyes going straight to the Bible on the table. It didn't burn, Iman said slowly. I tried many times, but the fire refused. Sami looked up with calm certainty. That is because Jesus protected it. Iman felt a chill, not of fear, but of truth sinking deeper. He sat down, heavy with emotions. Sami, tell me something, Iman asked softly. Why do you love this Jesus so much? The boy sat across from him, legs dangling from the chair, and spoke in the simplest, purest way. Because he loved me first. Iman blinked. How do you know that? Sami looked down at his hands. His voice dropped, gentle and honest. Before I had the Bible, before I knew anything at all, I used to feel very scared. I felt like no one saw me. But one night, I prayed for the first time. I said, God, if you are real, please make me feel safe. He lifted his head, his eyes shining like morning light. And then, I felt it. Warm, peaceful, like I wasn't alone anymore. That's how I knew Jesus heard me. Iman stared at the child, speechless. A memory rose inside him, a night long ago when he had been scared as a young boy, wishing to feel safe, but no warmth had come. No peace, no voice, nothing. Yet this small child had received what he never did. Iman touched the Bible's cover slowly. I felt something last night, he whispered. Something warm, something peaceful, something alive. Sami nodded with quiet confidence. That was Jesus too. The simplicity of the boy's words shook Iman more than any argument, any teaching, any debate. It was pure, it was innocent, it was real. Suddenly, the house felt bright, as if a new light had entered with the child. Iman took a deep breath. Would you read something from the book? He asked. Sami's face lit up. Yes, sir, he said with joy. He gently opened the Bible, turned a few pages, and stopped. His small voice filled the room. Come to me, all who are tired and carrying heavy troubles, and I will give you rest. Iman froze. Tired, carrying heavy troubles. That was him. The verse hit his heart like soft rain falling on dry land. He closed his eyes, and for the first time in his life, he felt hope beginning to grow. A tiny seed, but a seed all the same. Something new was starting inside him, something he could no longer push away. And Jesus was gently, quietly, drawing him closer. All day, after Sami left, Iman walked around his house like someone searching for something he had lost. But he didn't know what the something was. Peace, truth, a voice, a feeling. He wasn't sure. He only knew one thing. His heart was no longer the same. That afternoon, he tried to do normal things, sweeping the floor, feeding his animals, cooking tea, but his mind kept returning to the words the little boy had read. Come to me, all who are tired, and I will give you rest. Rest. He did not even remember what rest felt like. That evening, as the sun went down, Iman stepped outside. The sky was painted orange and gold. The desert wind whispered softly, like the whole world was calming down. But inside Iman's chest, something was waking up. A quiet stirring, a gentle pull, a strange warmth, soft but steady. It was the same feeling he had experienced the night before, the feeling that someone was near, someone peaceful, someone kind. He shook his head, trying to stop thinking about it. But he couldn't. No matter how far he walked, no matter where he looked, no matter how many times he tried to push the thoughts away, Jesus kept coming back to his mind. It wasn't loud, it wasn't forceful, it wasn't frightening, just gentle, just warm, just real. As night settled, Iman returned to his house. He lit a small lamp, its flame glowing like a soft star. The Bible still lay open on the table. He walked past it once, then again, and again. Each time, his steps slowed. Finally, he stopped in front of it, staring. His hands felt warm. His heart felt heavy. I didn't want any of this, he whispered to the empty room. I only wanted to burn the book. But deep down he knew the truth. The fire he tried to use was not just to burn pages, it was to burn away questions, fears, doubts, and emptiness. But the fire failed, because something stronger than fire had spoken. Iman sat down very slowly, like someone sitting before something holy without understanding why. He touched the Bible gently. The moment his fingers rested on the cover, his heart felt that same warmth again. Not hot, not painful, just peaceful, like sunlight on cold skin. I don't understand any of this, he confessed softly. Why me? Why now? He expected silence. Instead, he felt a whisper, not in his ears, not in the room, but inside his heart. A quiet sense, a gentle voice without sound, saying, I have always seen you. Iman's breath shook. He looked up quickly, as if someone might be standing there. But no one was. Yet the presence remained, warm, patient, loving, a presence that did not judge him, did not scare him, did not rush him, a presence that simply waited. Iman's eyes filled with tears he had held back for many years. Tears of exhaustion, tears of confusion, tears of longing he never admitted. Why am I feeling this? He whispered shakily. Who are you? The silent answer touched him again, this time even clearer. I am the one who loves you. Iman covered his face with both hands. He was not a man who cried. He was not a man who allowed himself to be weak. He was not a man who opened his heart easily. But in that moment, something inside him broke open, gently, like a door finally unlocking after years. He did not understand everything. But he understood this. He was not alone. Not tonight. Not in his emptiness. Not in his confusion. Someone was reaching for him. Someone was calling him. Someone was touching his heart in a way no one ever had. A soft knock suddenly sounded on the door. Not loud. Not urgent. Just gentle. Iman wiped his eyes and opened the door. Sami stood there again, holding a small candle. My father said I should bring this to you, the boy said. He said light helps when the heart is thinking. The candle flickered warm and bright between them. Iman looked at the child, then at the candle, then at the Bible. He felt it deep inside. A light had begun in him. Small, but real, soft, but growing, and he couldn't run from it anymore. The miracle was unfolding. The candle Sami brought glowed gently in the room. Its small flame moved softly, as if it understood the quiet moment happening inside Iman's heart. Sami placed the candle on the table beside the Bible. It's beautiful, the boy said softly. Iman nodded, though his mind was far away, in wonder, in warmth, in a strange new peace he didn't yet understand. Thank you for bringing it, Iman replied. Sami smiled. My father said light helps us see things clearly. Even things inside our hearts. Iman looked at the candle again. Something about it felt meaningful, like a message without words. Sami, he said quietly, do you think Jesus truly sees people? Even people who are confused, or angry, or broken inside. Sami sat down on the floor, his legs folded neatly. Yes, he said without hesitation. Jesus sees everyone, and he loves everyone, even when we don't understand him. Iman felt the words settle into him like seeds falling into soft soil. But why would he care about me? He whispered. I tried to destroy his book. Sami looked at him with innocent honesty. Maybe that's why he came close to you, he said. Sometimes Jesus shows his love strongest to the people who feel the farthest away. Iman felt a gentle ache in his chest. Not pain, but awakening. The boy continued. My dad says Jesus does not wait for us to be perfect. He just waits for us to open our hearts. The simplicity of those words struck something deep inside Iman. Open my heart. He had opened it to nothing and no one his entire life. But now, something was happening. Something he could not deny. The quiet presence he felt last night returned. Warm, comforting, kind. A presence he knew wasn't from himself. Iman took a long breath. Sami, will you read something for me again? The boy nodded happily and opened the Bible. Where should I read? He asked. Anywhere, Iman said. Anything. Sami flipped a few pages and stopped. His small finger pointed to a verse. This one, he said softly. He began to read. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in. Iman's heart felt like it stopped. A knock, a door, a voice, everything he had felt these past 2 nights, the warmth, the peace, the gentle pull, suddenly made sense. Jesus, Iman whispered, are you knocking on my heart? The warmth inside him grew, filling his chest like quiet light. He looked at Sami, eyes full of questions and emotion. What do I do? He asked, almost breathless. Sami smiled a soft, glowing smile. You talk to him, the boy said simply. Just like he's here. Because he is. Iman stared at the Bible, then at the candle, then closed his eyes. For the first time in his life, he spoke from his heart, honestly, simply, humbly. Jesus, I don't know much, he whispered softly. I don't understand everything. I don't even know what I'm supposed to feel. But I feel you. I feel your peace. I feel your love. If you are truly knocking on my heart, I opened the door. A breath he didn't know he was holding slipped out. The room felt brighter. The air felt warmer. The peace he felt earlier now washed over him like soft light. It was not dramatic. No thunder. No shaking. No sound. Just quiet. Deep love. A love he had never known. A love that wrapped around him gently, like arms holding a tired soul. A love that filled the emptiness he had carried for years. Iman opened his eyes slowly. Tears slid down his cheeks without shame. Sami stood and hugged him gently. It's okay, the boy whispered. Jesus heard you. Iman held the child's shoulders, looking at him with gratitude. Thank you, Sami, he said. You showed me the light. Sami shook his head. No, sir, Jesus showed you. I only carried the candle. Iman looked at the candle glowing on the table. A symbol of a new beginning. A symbol of a heart no longer empty. A symbol of a miracle. Not loud, but gentle and real. He touched the Bible gently, not with fear, but with love. From today, he whispered, this book will not burn in my house. It will shine, and in that quiet little room, with a child beside him and peace filling the air, Iman's heart finally found the rest he had searched for his entire life. The miracle was complete. The story of a hard heart becoming soft. A dark room becoming bright. A man finding hope in the one who never stopped knocking. A story of light. A story of love. A story of Jesus reaching a heart that needed him. Summary. In a quiet desert town, a man named Iman tried to burn a Christian Bible, believing it was wrong. But when the fire mysteriously refused to touch the pages, Iman experienced a gentle, unexplainable peace. Over the next days, a young boy named Sami helped him understand the love and light of Jesus. Through simple words, a candle, and the Bible, Iman's heart opened to God's love. He discovered hope, forgiveness, and rest, a miracle that transformed his life forever. Moral lesson. No heart is too hardened for love and forgiveness. Even when we feel lost, angry, or empty, God's peace and light can reach us. True change often comes gently, through patience, kindness, and the courage to open our hearts to love. The end.